Oklahoma incarcerates more women than any other state, ripping families apart, costing taxpayers millions of dollars, and setting up a cycle of incarceration and poverty. ReMerge is a female diversion program designed to keep mothers in the community with their children instead of sending them to prison. ReMerge accepts women with minor children or women who are pregnant with pending nonviolent charges in Oklahoma County. Research shows that women enter the criminal justice system through common pathways: history of trauma and violence, history of family dysfunction, substance abuse, addiction, mental health issues, unhealthy relationships, and economic marginalization and poverty. Diversion programs must focus on these pathways to provide appropriate interventions. One of the pathways ReMerge focuses on is unhealthy relationships. As human beings, we are hardwired to be in relationships and connect with others. There's a deep connection between the quality of our relationships and the quality of our lives. Famous American entrepreneur Jim Rohn said, "We are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with." One of the goals in the ReMerge program is to encourage participants to choose relationships that are healthy and safe, not only for themselves, but for their children.
Some of the common threads I've seen with the women in the program in relationships is them getting involved in abusive relationships or getting dragged into relationships where addiction is involved.
A lot of the relationships that I've seen girls in the program have do contribute to the behaviors they made in the past, whether it be because they were following the other person or because the other person contributed to their behaviors in a cycle.
I was a very unhealthy, broken person. And so that's what I kept looking for in relationships, is somebody to fill that void in me, somebody to make me feel complete or make me feel whole. And all I was doing was looking for people that were just as broken and just as scarred as I was. And I didn't make healthy decisions, I didn't set healthy boundaries.
I think that when you're in an abusive relationship or a controlling relationship, it really knocks down your self-esteem. So when you don't have any self-esteem, you don't have any self-worth. ReMerge has taught me how to regain my confidence and my self-esteem. Since being at ReMerge, I have built this support system that means so much to me. It's so big. I mean, I made some best friends in this program that I cherish.
I have more of a value system now, and I know what a healthy relationship looks like. And not only that, but I'm a healthy person today, so I'm not coming to somebody broken or scarred or damaged. I know my worth now.
ReMerge has taught me what a healthy relationship is, that it isn't controlling, that there's compromise, that there's trust, that there's honesty, and that you can really rely on one another to be positive influences in your life.
Many of us experience trauma on some level, whether that be the loss of a loved one, natural disaster, exposure to violence, or living in unsafe conditions. Research shows that an adverse childhood event score, or ACE score, of 3 or higher has a direct correlation with addiction, mental health problems, and even poor physical health in adulthood. More than 50% of all females incarcerated have experienced trauma, and the average ACE score in the ReMerge program is 4.5, indicating that these women have experienced significant childhood trauma. We need tools to process and cope with trauma to minimize negative outcomes. ReMerge provides education and treatment to help women overcome childhood trauma and become more resilient as adults.
I could say a lot of us been sexual abused, and a lot of us been in unhealthy relationships, abuse, physical, mental, all of that. And I was raised without a dad, so therefore it was just my mom, and she was an alcoholic, and she took a lot of stuff out on me.
Mine was all of the above. I went through sexual abuse, I went through incarcerated parent, drug abuse, you name it, I've been through it.
You know, my mom had 3 children that she tried taking care of, and my dad was always in and out of prison. And when he was there, he'd get drunk and he'd beat her until she couldn't take it no more. It was really scary watching my mom get beat like every day. And then my mom got cancer when I was about 10, and she died 11 days before my 11th birthday, and that was really hard for me, you know. And then me and my sisters and my brother, we got put in foster care and we got split up, and it was really scary not having the only people I've known and that protected me my whole life. And And that's where a lot of my problems started.
It started when I was 3 years old. Grandma took me in, Dad took me, and I got molested. Then my dad's girlfriend beat me, and then I had a mother who was incarcerated throughout my life. She also beat me, and I had a brother that lived with me. She tried to sell us for her own habits. No stability. Grandma did to raise me, but she couldn't even do it right by herself because she really didn't know how. My baby sister came and lived with me. She got ripped away, so I really didn't have nobody to lean on through troubles.
I would use to cover all that pain and all that up, and now I don't have to do that. I've completely changed my life around.
But now I feel like I deal with my emotions, and when I deal with them, it just feels a relief off my shoulders once I share them out.
At first it was really, I felt like I was alone, and I was scared to be here, and my family wasn't going to be here for me, and ReMerge showed me that they love me and that they will fight for me, and that rubbed off on me to where I fought for myself.
I know that I mature a lot. I can actually ask for help and not feel embarrassed. They love me for who I am. I'm thankful to have ReMerge on my side and support.
ReMerge has helped me so much learn coping skills, be responsible, help me with my GED, make new friends, get involved in the community, and get a good job. I'm me.
1 in 5 Oklahomans struggle with mental illness. 1 in 10 Oklahomans struggle with substance abuse and addiction. 64% of females incarcerated identified a need for substance abuse treatment. Our prisons are designed to lock up people who pose a threat to our communities. But prisons are not designed to provide mental health and substance abuse treatment. ReMerge provides rehabilitation in lieu of prison, allowing families to stay together and mothers to get the help they need to live a life in recovery and become productive citizens for our community.
I think a lot of situations that lead up to addiction would be like losing a family member. For me, I know that was probably the start of mine. Losing a family member, going through something tragic, experiencing a rape. Something like that happens to you, and regardless of what it is, you want to find something to numb the pain.
I think it's amazing seeing people come into this program a certain way, and usually that's pretty insecure and afraid, and then watching them grow and be strong and become mature and just like flourish in this person that they were meant to be. It's just really, it's amazing to see people change.
I would have to say, like, for myself, like, I came in and I was like in this big ball with this wall up, not trying to open up to anybody, but being in ReMerge has taught me how to be vulnerable and open up to everybody and learn how to trust.
Recovery for me is life. It gave me my life back. The whole time I'm out there, I always wanted to stop, I just didn't know how, and all I wanted to do was be a mom again.
I feel like before I got sober, I really struggled with my purpose and what I was doing here in the world, and you know, if I was fulfilling whatever I was meant to do. And when I got into recovery, everything changed as far as like I get up in the morning and I feel like I'm supposed to be here and I'm doing the things that I was created to do. To me it means purpose.
ReMerge works because it addresses the root causes of addiction and mental health and removes barriers women face raising children while navigating the criminal justice system. ReMerge saves taxpayers millions of dollars, keeps families together, and breaks the cycle of intergenerational poverty and incarceration.
I've learned that as long as you put your mind to doing something, that you can accomplish it. I have a house. I have a job in the oil and gas industry. I've rebuilt a lot of my relationships with my family, with my mom, my dad, my brother, my grandparents, and friendships that I thought I had lost.
With ReMerge, I got my GED, and then they helped me get into school, and I'll be graduating there in 2 months.
ReMerge has given me the solid foundation on which I started to rebuild my life, and now I just have this blueprint, and I know I can achieve anything. I know the sky is the limit, so I know if I put my mind to something, I can do it.
ReMerge has helped me get my GED, give me love, let me love myself. I have a great fiance who loves my children like they're his, so they're ours now. Great job working with Women's First Step. I'm learning how to be responsible, independent, and I love life.
My daughter's been home for almost 2 months now, and I see my other children on the weekends, and I hope to one day be able to open my own business.
ReMerge has given me my life back. I've been able to rebuild relationships with my parents. They've given me the courage to enroll and go to college.
Man, I love my life right now as it is. Of course, being sober, but more being with my daughter. She's been home for 8 months now, and she just changed my life around more. I don't want to spend it a day without her.
My future is holding right now is I got my kids back in my life, and my 2 oldest, I didn't ever think I was going to ever be back in their life.
I've gained purpose through this program. I have my son living with me again. Through this program, I have a career when before I thought I would never be able to have even a good job because I didn't finish college. Like, I have that strength now that I used to not have. And I have year-long goals, like things that I plan on doing next year, when before I didn't know if I was going to live that long.
I just want to say thank you for actually caring enough to give us the second chance that we deserve, to be moms, to be the daughters and the friends that we were meant to be.
It's like my second family, and maybe my first family. But I love them, and I'm thankful to be here and got to have the opportunity to have the second chance.
Today I don't feel like it's just me, that it's just me alone and that I'm morally deficient from everybody else. I feel connected. I feel connected to the community. I feel connected to my sisters in ReMerge, the fellowship of AA and NA. I feel like I belong for the first time ever.
I feel like I've never been like I do now. And it's an amazing feeling.